Well, immigration has been a polarizing topic during the presidential campaign. And joining me live from Philadelphia to talk about how the parties differ on the issue is David Leopold, the founder of David Wolfe Leopold and Associates. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, David, let's start with the candidate's stance on these HB1 visas. These basically allow U.S. companies to employ workers in certain specialized fields like engineering. Where did Clinton and Trump differ on these?
Well, look, the Democratic platform, which is the most progressive in the history of the United States, talks about creating an immigration policy that's going to build jobs, make jobs for U.S. workers. And of course, that includes bringing in highly skilled workers, such as those that would qualify for the H-1B. Compare that to the Republican platform. Compare that to Donald Trump, who talks about two things: building a wall and mass deportation. He has no solutions. The Democratic platform is full of solutions. That's the difference.
Now, if you look at some of the countries that would be most impacted by their policies, who are the ones who will really be most affected?
By which policies? By H-1B or by mass deportation?
By HB1.
Yeah, so look, H-1B, who does it affect the most? Look, H-1B workers, and I represent a lot of H-1B workers, come from all over the world. They come from China, they come from India, they come from Canada, they come from Western Europe. What that affects really are two things. It affects the workers that want jobs in the United States, but it really affects American business and American commerce, because in order for our economy to grow, we need to bring in workers from highly skilled workers for jobs for which there are shortages. So it affects, in a sense, it affects mainly the American economy.
Now, speaking of some of that, perhaps that skills gap that may come into effect, what about the science and tech community's stance on Clinton and Trump's immigration policies? What's their reaction been?
Well, again, let's contrast the two. Donald Trump and the platform of the Republican Party is all about deportation, building walls, removing people, splitting up families. What does that do to American business? It destroys American business. It destroys the American economy. Contrast that with what the platform of the Democratic Party, which, by the way, I was on the platform committee of the Democratic Party, contrast that with Hillary Clinton's position, which is to make it more inclusive. Look at this convention. It's an inclusive, it's a picture of America that really looks like America, and that's how our immigration policy should look. It should look like the world. We should be bringing in highly skilled workers from China, from India, from countries where we need to bring in and employ workers that can help this economy grow. We also need to be unifying families. So that's where the Clinton campaign is coming from.
Now, what about their policies in terms of the ability to help the country innovate and attract talent? You mentioned that, that Hillary Clinton has a more inclusive approach. Is there anything we've heard then from the Trump camp that would lead us to believe that they could also be helping in that regard?
No. I mean, that's an easy answer, no. Donald Trump, again, has said nothing about immigration other than calling Mexicans rapists and murderers, other than disparaging minorities in this country. Look, Donald Trump looks at a minority in the most racist way. Look the way he looked at Judge Curiel, the judge who's deciding the Trump University case. He said that he couldn't be a judge because Judge Curiel, who, by the way, was born in Indiana because his parents came from Mexico. How do you think he would feel, Donald Trump, about Chinese, about Asian, Japanese, people from Asia? The same way. He's given us no reason to believe that he would do anything that's at all inclusive beyond his small pack of people that follow him. Donald Trump is a danger to the United States. He is a danger to the world. And no, he has not offered any immigration policy that would attract, I think, anybody, unless you want to build a wall or find your family destroyed.
Now, David, one thing that we'd like to talk about is jobs. Agriculture is actually the world's largest provider of jobs, so there's a lot riding on how the industry's policies go. So what's the U.S. community's stance on Clinton's approach versus Trump's?
Well, look, the U.S. community, what we need in this country is a well-designated temporary worker program, meaning that we need to be able to bring in workers who can work in agriculture, can work seasonally, can go home. Many of these workers have no desire to actually immigrate to the United States. what happens is our laws are so broken here that they have no way of actually going in and out of the United States in a way that allows them to work commensurate, together with seasonal needs. So I think that when we have a comprehensive immigration reform package, which hopefully, when President Hillary Clinton has said, when she's president, Hillary Clinton has said that she will offer immigration reform to the Congress, and hopefully that immigration reform package will include a well-designated, a well-designed temporary worker program that meets the needs of agriculture and of the workers that are coming in.
David, unfortunately, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you so much for joining us, David Leopold of David Wolfe Leopold and Associates.